Join me inside my writing yurt. Come on. This comes from Kevin J. And he asks an interesting question, which may sound a bit intimidating at first. He says, what is a predicate adjective? And then he goes on to explain that he's using a workbook of some sort, not one of our workbooks, but another workbook. And this workbook is asking him to identify the predicate adjective. And he can't seem to figure this out. And he thought that maybe we might be able to help him with this. First of all, a term like predicate adjective can be quite confusing. In fact, grammar, one of the reasons grammar can seem intimidating is that there are lots of terms which we don't use in everyday life. However, one of the things that Marie believed, and I also believe quite strongly, is that when properly introduced and when properly used, the terms of grammar, the tools of grammatical language, the language we use to talk about language, can be very effective at helping us see things. So let me see if I can walk you very briefly through what is a predicate adjective. Now, in one of the very first lessons in the basic Cozy Grammar course, Marie introduces the idea of subjects and predicates by taking a piece of firewood, and then she splits the firewood in two. So she ends up having two pieces of firewood. And she says that just as a piece of firewood can be divided into two parts, so every sentence can be divided into two parts, the subject and the predicate. Now, the subject is just basically who is doing the action of a sentence, and the predicate is basically what the action is. So, for example, I am talking. Here we have a very simple sentence. I am talking. Who is talking? I am talking. So I, the pronoun I, is the subject of that sentence. Am talking is what I am doing. So whatever that action is that I am doing, that's the predicate. So very simple. I, subject, am talking, predicate. That much helps us understand a little bit more about the word predicate, which I find to be a very intimidating sounding and looking word, but it needn't be. Now there's also this word adjective that Kevin J has been asking about. An adjective is simply a describing word. So for instance, blue, or red, or yellow, or tasty, or hot, or cold, or happy, or sad. All of these are adjectives describing how things are, describing their qualities. So a predicate adjective is simply an adjective that comes in the predicate of a sentence. I'll give you an example and it should become much clearer. I am happy. Here, the subject is I. What am I doing? I'm being happy. I am happy. That happy, that adjective, is the predicate adjective because it's in the predicate. Anytime you have a sentence that says, I am, she is, they are something, they are delighted. She is tall. They are intelligent. Tall, intelligent, all of those words there are predicate adjectives. So I hope, Kevin, that helps you wrap your mind around the idea of a predicate adjective, at least to some extent.